Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Okay, so for today's reaction video, not as I was about to say as always, but we don't always do this. But Andy and Kirk have no idea of the video that's coming up, so it could be a death metal track, it could be a Japanese pop song. Who knows what's coming up? But we're gonna go check it out. We'll share you our honest feedback at the end. So let's go check out today's video.
I've looked to eternity and still I cannot see what there could be for me out there. Past this veil that breaks by the edge of an endless sea. Another night spent alone at the mercy of the same old doubts and fears. The same prison of thought that shackled so many over the years. Another casualty of a war that you just can't win. Other questions left unanswered in this world you're living in. But I am here to set you free. To solve your fractured mind, lift this fog and let you see. Who do you think you are? Some angel bringing light into the dark. What do you think you see? You're no better than me. This world's a burnt out joke, with no meaning to the mirrors and the smoke. As you're a fool if you can't see that there's nothing here for me. Oh yes, and in the end you'll find it doesn't matter who we are. We walk the same path of the grave. So don't think about what comes next. Just take my hand and breathe. We'll make the most of it while we're away. Another night spent alone at the mercy of the same few. Trials and lays. Whoever you are, however you live, there's no great price. With a limitless life above or burning below, or cast into a void, it's all the same. God, don't you know this world's not meant for living in? But life beyond or not, in truth, there's just no way to win. What do you think you are? So lonely and forgotten in the dark. What did you think the truth would be? Won't have an answer out of me. Yes, this world's a tidal place, but you're painted in every single face. So for a meaning to it all, just listen close, you'll hear it call. Oh yes, and in the end you'll find it doesn't matter who we are. We walk the same path of the grave. So don't think about what comes next. Just take my hand and breathe. We'll make the most of it while we're away. But what can I do all alone with no help to see a pathway through? My spirit's lost, it's up to you. Save my damn soul to save me. Don't you see, a poor old fool is not up to me. most of it while you run away. Whoa, while you run your way. Just take my hand and breathe while you run your way. And when it's time to go, take your time, take it slow. When you go.
Okay, so there we go. That was Millstone, and the new single that's coming out next week or week after. I think it's 9 days time. So it will. Well, this video will come out on the day that the single's released anyway. But obviously, we've got it ahead of time. So this is Path to the Grave. Obviously, Millstone. We know the guys from Club 85. Played there a few times. They did Metal to the Masses there last year. I think it was like their first or second gig was last year's show, and they did several gigs throughout the year. They've been obviously going from strength to strength, and this was their first single, I think, official release. Now they had no official when they sent me the video or the song over 2 days ago. They didn't have a video to put with it, so obviously I quickly cut together a video from their last live show that I filmed, so we had something to react to. So
good job as well.
The sync-ins out in certain places, because also obviously as the guys don't play to a metronome, it doesn't make it very easy to try and sync them up. So I had to kind of constantly up by 0.5 of a degree of speed, then down by 5 a degree of speed to try and get them as close as I could on it. But it was more just so that we had something that was relatively in sync so we could watch. Yeah, so let's kick it around the table. Andy, kick you off. Millstone, Path to the Grave. What's your thoughts on it?
I was going to say the video production was excellent on Who Done It. You played that card already.
Already done it.
Yeah, I was actually at that show.
Yes,
I think I saw the Metal to Masses as well, and obviously I was at the one that you've recorded there. I don't know if the vocalist had a bit of an off day, but he certainly wasn't as powerful and as strong as he was on that recording, which I thought was excellent. You know, he's got a really good voice. I really like the, the sort of the chilled intro, which then repeated as the outro. I thought that was a really, really nice part of the song. Kirk might be able to embellish exactly what genre it falls in, but this is British heavy metal, isn't it? You know, it's not anything. It's not any one of the subgenres. This is what you would say to somebody. Millstone are a heavy metal band from the south of England. You know, there was touches of early Maiden, bit of Judas Priest in there as well. The high notes that is it James?
James, yeah.
Yeah, the second verse, the high notes he hit there were excellent as well. Reminding me of, in parts as well, the vocals to a sort of European band. I don't know if they're from Germany or Netherlands, sort of gothic metal band called Diona. You know, the sort of the vocal style that he used there reminded me of that particular band, which I've got a few albums of, which I really like. Really enjoyed the guitar solo as well.
Really? Okay.
Really added to the song. He's not showboating. He's playing whatever lead notes, whatever lead styles would accompany that particular song without saying, "Hey, look at me. This is my time to shine for 2 minutes." You know, that was really good. So, yeah, I quite enjoyed their performances when I've seen them live, and that is a good, really good introduction to the band, a good lead single, and good job on the sort of impromptu video, Dave.
Thank you, and thank you to them. Kirk, over to you.
Yeah, first thing that I will say about this band, the levels of musicianship are extremely high. And you can hear that in the studio recording. The musician who stands out for me, and when I saw them live, is the bass player. He is magnificent. Just listen to his instrument. Even, you mentioned the guitar solo. Listen to the dropout, and he's playing almost like, I think he is beyond the 12th fret, and he's following the phrasing of the lead guitar. I wouldn't just say he carries the rhythm. He adds a lot of emotion in there. If you didn't have that video, I might even be asking, is he playing a fretless bass? So he always stands out for me. And I remember watching him live, he was wearing a Joy Division t-shirt. So clearly there's a lot of different influences in this band. I really I've got to say that intro, love the drama of it. It's almost classic 80s English Gothic music, isn't it? And then when it goes into that galloping Iron Maiden riff, yeah, you're right, Andy. When we use the term heavy metal, we do mean, don't we, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Queensryche, because Jeff Tate is clearly an influence on James. So let's move on to James. Really captured his voice there. I love the risks that he's taking with his vocals. There was one part in there where he's almost like breathing in and doing like a low registered voice, and then he goes really high as well. And I was watching a video, you know, Spencer Sotelo from Periphery, and there was this singing teacher. They've done this package where you can learn how to sing like him. And do you know when sometimes you'll criticize a singer and say it sounds like a cat being strangled? This vocal coach says if you want to get to the high points, you have to be in that zone to then learn how to control them, you know, to put that vibrato effect on. And James has really perfected that. So magnificent performance on vocals. Clearly that's going to be difficult live, isn't it? And I know, am I right in thinking one of the criticisms has been in the past that sometimes he'll blow his voice out after 3 songs? I'm not surprised, because the technique and the standard and ambition of what he's doing on that microphone is so high. Can you imagine if they did a UK tour? My God, this is a guy who would not be able to speak in between the gigs because he'd have to preserve his voice. So it wouldn't be much fun for him. You know, he couldn't be partying and drinking and whoring and taking drugs or whatever people do now on tour, because he'd just have to protect his voice. So yeah, we really enjoyed the song. I like the emotion in it as well. I like the high drama of it, almost melodramatic, which sometimes is a criticism, isn't it? Not from me. You know, there was some really majestic Queensryche type moments to that, weren't there? So I will certainly be looking forward to an album. If that is the level they're at with the lead single, then we are certainly we've got every reason to be excited about this band.
Okay, well, I'll wrap this one up then. So I'll pretty much mirror what you guys have already said, so don't need to go into too much detail, but I do want to point out I thought you've skipped the drummer. I actually thought the drums were great on this particular track, and the specific reason I really like what Millstone do within the drums is, and please, drummer, please take compliment in this, you don't get overcomplicated, you don't put too much stuff in. There are too many drummers that like to put too many fills in and blast beats and stuff. The drum patterns that he used on Path to the Grave completely served the song. There was no wastage in there, and there wasn't underutilization. So everything was perfect within that track. So the fills, the da-da-da-bam, playing off this little cymbal crashes, he knew how many to hit, what worked with. There wasn't excessive amounts, there wasn't excessive double kick. There was kick where it needed to be. So I always listen out for that, for where drummers just overkill it, and he did a great job on it. You've talked about James's vocals. Not many people are going to be taking a risk, like James is saying, in that style of vocals, because it's one of those kind of Marmite ones. People are either going to really love it, or people are going to really go the opposite direction and go, oh, well, I'm not keen on this. Now, I think all 3 of us really like what he's doing, but it's a risk because it's not the norm of what everyone else is doing. And I think it's great that he's doing it, but he has blown his voice out on I saw them 3 or 4 times on all of the shows that I've seen them. He's blown his voice by the 3rd or 4th song. And a great example of this is that you will see people on the first 2 songs or so going, ooh, wow. They're really impressed. And then by the 4th song, you hear his voice start cracking. He'll go for that high note and it will suddenly break and he won't be able to hit it. And this, just to me, is warm-up. One of the things I've noticed watching bands, especially at Club 85, I've only seen 2 singers doing proper warm-up exercises before they've played, when they've played there.
I dare you to name them.
The 2 that I've seen Dan from Muskill do some basic warm-up exercises, and the one person that spends a good couple of hours working on his warm-up is the singer from Kodama.
Yeah, I think
he sits there with headphones and he sits there and does vocal runs. He will sit there in his own world, making sure he's ready for a set. And I don't see enough singers actually warming up their vocals before they go on stage. I see a lot of drummers doing leg exercises, arm exercises before they go on to warm themselves up. And I do as well whenever I've played. Always do warm exercises, but I don't see the vocalist doing it. And I would challenge the vocalist as a whole about what they do before they go on, especially if you've got to do the work ethic that James has got to and hit those notes. You've got to have that warmed up vocal range, otherwise you are going to blow your voice. And we say that with love, James. We do say this with love. It's all about obviously delivering the best you possibly can, because you've got the voice to do it. It's just a shame if you get halfway through a set and your voice suddenly starts cracking on you, because then you have to start playing to a lower key, or you have to start adjusting your vocals, and it doesn't get as quite a good a show as you potentially could give off. I also wonder whether or not actually, I'm going to say it in a positive way. I'm going to say it not in an opportunist way, but a positive. I like on the fact on Path to the Grave that during the solo there wasn't a secondary layered guitar.
Yeah,
they've made the single sound like exactly what you're going to get if you watch them live.
Mm-hmm.
But I also question about how would it sound better if there was a second guitarist in the band to fatten up some of those tones.
No, because the bass player, I think he adds so much, and
okay.
Me personally, I get so much enjoyment listening to how expressive his scale patterns are during that song, even during the galloping. By the way, I should mention, what a guitar player he is as well. He's so confident and he looks the part. I remember seeing him live. He's got those like James Hetfield wristbands on, like his posture when he's doing that alternate palm muting. I remember him walking over to the audience like that, like, yes, I've got a guitar, I'm cool. And he is. I think he is. He shows you can still be a band that's got so much ambition and incorporating various styles, and still be a four-piece with just a bass player, guitarist, drummer, and vocalist.
Well, there we go. Bit of final feedback there from Kirk. Anyway, if you liked our video on Millstone and Path to the Grave, please do like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on our video sometime very soon. Take care.